Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to start Model 2 PFM cramps. Since this is a simulation work, we're going to need the number 3 mounted and the type on the mannequin. Also, we're going to need to wear protective equipment as is shown in the video. That includes loops, mask, gown, and you need to wear gloves over the time. First thing we need to do is to calibrate our burr. We're going to be using the taper round end burr, which should have 1 millimeter on the very tip. Now I'm going to show you how to change the settings in this equipment. What we need to understand is 40,000 is too much, so we need to change the speed. First, we're going to pull this cable and hit this button and the percentage one time, and then we're using the pedal or the arrows up and down to get to the speed. Around 20 is okay. Then if we're going to change the torque value, we're going to hit the percentage one more time, and that T is the torque value. And then we're going to go up and down. We can use the pedal or we can use the arrow until we keep it. So normally I like to keep this to 65. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 65. I'm going to hit the enter key one more time and we set. And create the slots 3 buckle like this. 1, 2, 3, done. I'm gonna put 2 in lingual. 1, 2, done. The next step is to make these guys even. Before that, I like to put notches in the areas, so that's what it means is that much I reduce. The next step is start doing the adjustment. When you start doing the reduction, you're gonna realize there is a marginal ridge here that you definitely don't want to touch. If you taking this, if for example you're doing the board exam, the board will severely deduct points if you damage the neighbor teeth. So we're going to go ahead and try to be careful about that. So reducing like this. If you start looking around YouTube, you're going to see there is different ways to do this. And one of the ways is doing like I'm doing right now, reducing everything. And the other way is, when I'm doing the lingual, is try to do one cusp first. Let's say this one. And it's done, it's finished. The advantage is you can see how much reduction you see. See what I'm saying? This is a step. And then you can do the other half. Okay? So we're going to continue this until the occlusal reduction is done. Okay, once you get it done, and again, one way to know is look at this marginal ridge and the prep, and this marginal ridge and the prep. So that's when you know that you're there. At this point in time, you just want to get as smooth as you can and then follow the anatomy. Okay, so the next step will be creating the functional cusp bevel. So what we need is 1.5 of clearance, 2 or 3 millimeters width, and 45 degrees of angulation. So let's start doing it. 45 degrees of angulation, just like this. 1.5 reduction. Okay. Done. That much. Done. Okay, so now we're going to do the buccal reduction. For this, we need the depth cuts to help us. So we're going to make in 2 planes. The depth cut needs to be around 1.5 millimeters, and the margin needs to be 0.5 millimeters above the vellum. So let's go. I'm going to do one first. Again, 0. You don't go too close to the gingiva. You get 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Now we're gonna go with the second planar reduction, right there, right there, right there, down. Okay, so we're gonna continue it, reducing now buccal. The key here is to keep the same distance, because everybody has the problem that when you start reducing here, right, you change the level. So I'm gonna make sure two things. This burr needs to be nice and straight. Don't tilt it anyway, because that creates problems. Nice and straight like this. And get as close as you can to the proxima. When I say close means don't touch it, just get close. Another thing you need to be mindful is this level of your margin. Keep a nice standard. So you need to be mindful of three things basically. Number one, don't touch any tissues. Number two, keep the bird nice and straight. And number three, the margin. Okay, take your time. If you're using the right speed, you're gonna be in good shape. Okay, how much you need to reduce? About 1.5 millimeters. Second planar reduction. When you do the second planar reduction, you just need to tilt the burr about 30 or 40 degrees and just give it a nice second planar. Not too much again, just enough. You see? One plane, second plane. We're gonna do the same thing in the lingual, right? So we're gonna create a depth cut right there, 0.5 millimeters, super gingival. You're gonna try to make as parallel as you can, okay? Right here. The question will be, can you put more depth cuts? Yeah, sure, you can do as many depth cuts as you can. The whole idea is to connect them all together. Nice there. Again, you gotta be worried about keeping this at the same level. Another thing, keep the bird nice and straight. Another thing is don't damage anything. Okay? We're gonna continue this until we're done. Now the task is to break the contact. Breaking the contact is going to be an easy task when you get this reduction done properly. In other words, I'm here in the example. I have two different situations that I made it on purpose. One of the situations, you're going to see these two reductions are really close to each other. Don't you see it? And these two reductions are not so close to each other. So what we need to do now is I'm going to show you how easy it is to break this contact when the reductions are properly made. And I'm going to show you how difficult it is to make the reductions when the buccal and lingual reductions are not there. So you can do it like this and go slowly from one to another one, or you can put a matrix band, and the matrix band is going to protect this premolar. So I'm going to put a matrix band right there, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and go from one area to another. The key here is to keep the burr straight again. Okay, and you basically what you want to do is leave a bridge of a tooth. Look at this. I'm just kind of going in between. So in reality, you see, in reality, I'm leaving a little tiny piece of tooth when I'm prepping from buccal to lingual, and that's okay because I can fracture down and off. Go like this. Go like this. Go like this. You see? You see that little tiny piece of tooth? Right there? So I'm gonna keep on going. Buccal to lingual. And that way the matrix band don't suffer too much. It doesn't suffer, you see? Let's see it now. I'm to the point. You see this little lip? I can fracture with the same burr. See how I fracture it? And just can take it off. At this point in time, I can change to my other prepping burr, but I'm just gonna remove it And normally what I also do is I move this matrix back as I go along. So I don't keep it there all the time. For example, I can go lingually and I keep on moving, so if there's any part is scratched, it'll be away. So this is brand new now. Keep on going. And if I feel like it's getting too close to the other two, I just move it along. And I use this burr to kind of keep it right there. I'm gonna go ahead, continue to do the reduction, and see how easy it is when the isthmus between this one and this one is easy. And I do it with a same burr or with an instrument. I can just break the contact. You see? If I remove the band, the contact is open. Beautiful there. So I'm gonna do now the distal. The distal one's gonna be difficult because I haven't reduced enough. That's when you do the exercise, I want you guys to get as close as you can. But if you know, we can still go. So we're gonna make with the burr a little nut, a little trough between them. And I keep going, keep going, keep going. Gotta be careful, keep this one straight. I tilt the burr here and then I create this notch. But that's okay, they can be polished off later on. So I'm gonna just move this one a little bit more. And keep this nice and straight. At some point you're gonna start looking at, or you're gonna start deciding whether you should change this tip, because this tip, it's got diamond in the tip. Sometimes the diamond just disappears. So I reduce enough. I'm gonna just break it. I can break it with an instrument or with the same burr. And the contact is open already. See? Okay, so now we're gonna finish prepping. So I'm gonna put this matrix band, and here the trick is to keep this straight. No like this, no like this. Nice and straight. I'm gonna keep this one straight, and I'm just working the very end of my burr, the very end, the tip. Okay. Keep this straight, and the very end. I'm moving the matrix if I feel like I'm the very end. Keep it straight. Straight. In some point, you're not gonna need this. See, now it's plenty time. Can you see it? Plenty of space. So the burr can go without even touching this guy. So now I can just remove it and work in my margin. Just in my margin. Keep nice and straight. Keeping the burr straight is the key. So now I'm connecting buccal to lingual now. Buccal to lingual. Done. So we're gonna do the same thing in the other one. So the other one, I'm just gonna show you without the matrix band. A little risky, but it's doable. How? Come from this side and just keep on going. Slowly, take your time. Lean against this wall. Don't lean against this wall. Lean against this wall. Take your time. So I'm leaning against this wall. Nice and straight. Buckle. Done. So the prep is being, I would say, 50 or 60% done. I prep buccal and prep lingual and proximus. Now my job is to connect all the buccal and the lingual. At this point in time, you can reduce your speed and your burr so you can go easy. But right now what I'm trying to do is try to keep my buccal and lingual the same angulated, so that way I don't over taper. At this point in time I can just polish anything that I've been, everything that's regular I can just be kind of polishing. I can finish my occlusal reduction. In the lingual aspect, remember, that was a bevel, so I can get that bevel back in like this. The next step is I'm going to go ahead and polish the prep. So at this point in time, I'm just going to make the refinement of the prep. So the prep is already done. Right now, I just make it nice and smooth margins. See? This speed helps you to work on your margin like this. So nice. I like nice and even chamfer. Can I do the second plane reduction to the same extent? Perhaps the second plane reduction requires more speed, but I can use this speed also to polish it up. Another thing you can do with this speed is these pointy areas. You can definitely round it off, like so. The occlusal, yeah, why not? The occlusal can be just polished at this speed. Now, it depends on if your bird is brand new. Like this bird was brand new, so that speed is actually helping me. The bevel I was talking to you, I can just 45 degrees bevel, I can just polish it again, just like that. And the lingual, and just again, the burr has the angulation or the taper that you need, so you need to keep it nice and straight like this. Just keep it straight because the burr will give you the angulation like this. Just keep on going, working your, just focus right now on your margin. You see, if you focus on your margin, the rest of the burr is going to do the job. So now I can connect buccal and lingual at that speed. Buccal and lingual. Remember, we don't like J margins, so this one, this is speed, and this polishing, actually, see you have a little J margin right there. This is speed. This bird is actually beautiful to remove all the J's. Gone. And just keep on polishing until the prep is done. This is 45 degrees. This one is kind of pointy, I don't like it, so I'm just gonna round it off. Now, if that speed is driving you crazy, so slow, you can increase the speed by another point or so until you reach your sweet spot. So right now, what I have in this prep is you have a little J margin here and here. There's many ways you can get rid of the J margins. One of the easiest ways is using a hatch like this. And it's kind of done. Other ways is to use the stem burr, but you need to be very careful in there because you need to go ahead and target that little lip that is going up. Done. Okay. So the prep at this point in time is ready to check, and we're gonna look the spacing between them, and the lingual cut should be bevel. So one of the things I always look in the preps is you have the second plane reduction. This cram might not have the second plane reduction, so I'm gonna just go ahead and give a little, see what I'm saying? So it's kind of straight. It's got a second plane reduction, but I really want to see how the second plane reductions in every single one of these two. One plane, second plane. One plane, second plane. This one is one plane, slightly second plane, but we're gonna need to do a little bit more of that. So let's go ahead and try to get on second plane reduction. minimum. Don't go crazy, huh? It's minimum. Second plane reduction. You see it right there? But it's all rough, so we need to polish it now. So I'm gonna go ahead and polish the second plane reduction. Right there. I'm gonna keep the margin because I like the margin to be nice and smooth. I need a nice and smooth chamfer. You want no irregularities in your margin whatsoever. And now I have a second plane reduction. It's very subtle. The spacing that I need, the space, is according to what we mentioned in class. So this prep is done. Alright, thanks for watching. You can subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to get alerts when the new content is available.